Welcome to the CrossFit 310 Open Show. What are you laughing at?
I didn't know we had a name for it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the recap.
Oh, yeah. Open recap. Well, it sounds okay.
Okay.
Unbelievable. This is the Open Show. This is the recap of 20.3. Look what we did. We have in the room, it's pretty funny off camera, we got some color commentary with Mr. Will Jones. Will Jones, say hi to the people. Hey! Yeah, turn his mic down. I forgot this. I got to set this to Will Exuberance. It's going to be...
That's our next points. Will Exuberance points. That's what it
Boom,
is.
it's your boy, Will Jones.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, we miss it.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe we're going to have to record this twice. All right. So... we are
First
back.
of all, we're mid-open right now, and I just want to give everybody an update on the points. Team PM just took the lead from Team AM from last week.
Snatched it out of our hands.
162 to 157.
Wow.
I know.
What
It's
happened
tight.
in the story of the points? You get to see that in ways that we don't understand.
Right.
Jill.
So I know. Total control. So the points for this last week were Facebook check-in, doing the WOD, and social time with your team.
Yeah, hangout.
Hangout time, yeah. So that was some fun photos that we saw on Facebook, and everybody kind of rallied behind that. And Team PM got some pretty good points from that. But they also got points for winning the RX division, men and women, and the scaled division, men and women.
So we got a
we
big
got
20
Carrie Ray,
point,
DJ,
yeah.
Brooke for the scaled,
Brooke
and
Stimfig,
Paul.
yeah.
And Paul for the scaled for the guys.
Yeah, so
Paul
they
crushed it.
They got 20. They got 20 points. That was that's a big bump. If one team gets all of those things, that's a pretty big swing. And yeah, it was good though. So points wise, PM had a great week.
Yeah.
This week was ridiculous. It was
cool.
a heartbreaker for a bunch of people. It was also a really breakthrough moment for a bunch of people, and I've been talking about it a lot. Like it was such a dramatic week.
Right. And the other thing, PRs was still a point catcher for this week.
Yeah.
And Team PM had a lot of PRs.
Yeah, they did.
DJ PR'd because it was a previous workout. He PR'd his 18.4.
Yep.
And so did Maytal.
Yep.
You know,
Jason Gallagher did from our Team AM.
Yeah. So that was cool to actually have something to judge against. You know, because it's 2018 and it's 2000. Well, it's not really 2 years, but it's almost 2 years worth. So it's a good, sort of judge of where you're going, where you've been, that kind of thing.
It was great for those people.
But yeah, the drama, of course, was the
the handstands. The handstand was so much drama. Well, and you know what? It wasn't just that, because it was some people are flying through the deadlifts. It was deadlifts and handstand push-ups. If you're watching this and you didn't know, it was deadlifts and handstand push-ups. And for a bunch of people inside our gym, they're doing the deadlifts in under a minute.
50
you know what I mean?
seconds,
And they're just unbroken, basically, and just flying through it.
And then you walk slowly over to the wall.
Yeah. And
no.
Most of the time, if they were flying through the deadlifts, they had a slow time on the wall. And that's going to be CrossFit's general experience. And then other people like myself, I did not fly through the deadlifts. And I can go and I got a little more rhythm on the wall. And so people like Jason Gallagher, who was
And
great.
I do want to say, everybody out there, that DJ and Chris were the only guys that got into the second round of deadlifts, which is amazing. That means they got through all their handstands and got to go into the heavier deadlifting weight. Should have seen Coach Chris doing his 315.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. It was
amazing.
It was. Oh man, it has been. I was legitimately happy to get back to that. I would say that I'm not as good a shape as I was when I did it the first time. So to get
Yeah.
that deadlift was very
It was
fun.
impressive.
However, it was not my best rep, and I've been hating because we talk about the way that we do things all of the time, and secretly I'm like, I know that wasn't my best deadlift, so it wasn't. It happened.
Yeah. But let's talk about handstands for a second. I was talking to you earlier about the handstand standard. Everybody makes a big hoopla, and they've tried to change the standards left, right, and center, right? I think the standard should not be that hard for people to make. There was a little bit of a blowback. Like, I was talking with Kat, who did amazing, and she's like, my forearms are too long. And I'm like, no, I don't think that's the problem.
Right.
You and your freakishly long,
And let
long
me,
arm forearms.
yeah, when I see her, I'm always like,
Long forearms.
how weird.
Yeah. But I think with the standard.
Joking, by the way. Our point is she does not have long forearms.
He walks around with a ruler.
Yeah, I'm like, check this
But
out.
as a coach, like, it's a good coaching point to say the standard is really to get you in a better position upside down.
Yeah.
And if you're not a gymnast or you don't have a gymnastics background, this is an opportunity for you to learn how to do it better. You know, it's not trying to exclude you from making your handstand reps. It's trying to get you in the position that you should be in. And we need to promote that a little bit. You know, how do you get that shoulder extension? How do you get your hands in the right position, your feet in the right position, and your body off the wall?
Yep. And I think, like, as you were talking about it, I'd like to interject that it's not that it shouldn't be so hard for people to get in that position. It's that we shouldn't be surprised at people. Like, if you in general, like, if you have a tough time with overhead squats, right? If you have a tough time with range of scapular motion or thoracic mobility, if we're talking about that with you in other areas, then this shouldn't be, because the people who tend to not have a problem, they don't even know what people are talking about. What's the problem are people who have a couple of things. They have full range of motion throughout that without their rib cage popping out, and they also have stability.
Yeah.
There's a stability factor inside of there. So being able to lock out and make a platform.
If you were finding that you were having a hard time making that height whatever standard, talk to your coach about, why am I not making this height standard? Because there's some simple things to fix. And I talked to Kat about that on that Sunday we came in, and she
said you were such a help.
She knocked out 11 more reps, so
just needed just a little bit of position coaching and talking about how to float through and stuff like that.
Don't be scared of the standards. Find out why it's there and how you can do better to get there.
Yep.
That's what I have to say about handstands.
And it does give us a chance as coaches to talk about how we're trying all the time to get people into better positions. But this is a good way. It's a motivator for somebody, because most people aren't walking around saying, oh, I wish my scapular range of motion was so much better. But they can say, I wish I could get that handstand push-up and it was easier or more efficient. Yeah. So a little bit of a
and some highlights for that. Most of the highlights were around the handstands. Okay, so we've got Kat. Maytal came back and got a PR on her workout.
She did. She PR'd ultimately by 6 reps from her very first time.
Awesome.
She got 3 better, and then she wanted to try to get out of those 15s, and she I mean, it was so dramatic. This workout was so dramatic because you have to just wait. You know what I mean? You're trying to decide, well, am I going to wait 3 seconds? Am I going to wait 7 seconds before I go? Right. And if I get a no rep, that'll be more wasted time. So,
and there's a couple people like Coach Jen and Jeannie who pretty much learned how to kip like right there on the mat.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, you're not going to be able to do 21 strict push-ups, so let's talk about it. But sometimes you don't try it until the workout because you don't think you're going to. Jen thought she was going to go scaled until she came waltzing in that morning. And Chris says, scaled is out the door.
That was also dramatic.
Yes.
There was a lot of drama in that 9 a.m. class. But one thing I was going to bring up. So Nathan did that. It was 2 years ago. It was the same workout. And Nathan learned, basically that week, because we knew the standard was coming, right? This year, he's recovering from the season. He's got elbow stuff going on. And I want to highlight Nathan and his choice that he made, which we are preaching. We are preaching. Like, even though we're competing together and we're playing hard, like, we're not going to make a decision inside of this that is going to wreck the future months after this thing, right? We're keeping people safe. We're having fun. That's why we have points. That's why we have hangout points. That's why we have participation, check-in points.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so Nathan chose to go scaled. He was not going to be happy with his elbows if he tried to do handstand push-ups.
Yeah. So it was good. He needs to be praised for that, and
Good job, honey.
you're supposed to give him a hard time, of course, but
no, he beasted through that thing.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch.
Who else? Brooke won scaled. Carrie Ray won RX.
Yeah. Carrie Ray, the dramatic back and forth of Carrie Ray and Jill, Coach
Stay
Jill.
tuned. How many more weeks we got? 2 more weeks?
2 more weeks.
Stay
Keep your eye on
tuned.
that. Keep your eye on that. Jason Gallagher was great because 225 is heavy. Also, Paolo is not a heavy deadlifter. So him working through those deadlifts, and Jason was just doing singles, just pulling singles, but then he gets to go to the handstand push-ups, and he's pretty good at those. So flies through those.
It was fun to watch, I gotta say.
Yep. Okay. What else?
So let's talk about additional team points. We're gonna have a team theme dress up for the last week. So we're gonna
not
put out,
this week.
Not this week.
Even though it is Halloween, so
I know.
Just make it
but we
clear.
want to give people some time because the team captain, it has to be a themed for the whole team. So we got to give the team captain some time to think of something fun.
Yeah, so we're thinking something like how Six Man does it.
Right.
You know, like a whole team is like Magnum PI or the Lakers or
correct. Yeah, so
something
that's going to
like
be in
that.
the last week, and we're gonna put out the email for the points for this week. But we're still gonna hold PRs. We're gonna still hold check-in, and we're still gonna, we want you to do the WOD. We want you to show up, right? I did want to say I talked about a little bit about. We talked about the open and why you should do it and some of the benefits from it. But what I noticed this week in talking to some people is that, you get a real chance to look at your teammates because everybody has to have a judge. So suddenly you're not just doing the workout with your buddies. You're watching every single rep they do, and you are, really paying attention to how they move and what they're doing. And I've heard from more than one person. One was my husband, right? He's like, oh my God, I didn't know how this person moves so good. I couldn't believe how many reps they got, because he had an opportunity to really.
Who was that person?
That person was Lisa Fernell.
She is such a good mover, and
goes,
I get to know
she
that.
Can really move.
Yep.
I go, well, I know, But when you're in class with them and you're not necessarily the coach, that's another cool thing about the Open is that you got to really pay attention to some of your teammates because you're just dedicated, a counter, and watcher, And then you're like, wow, I didn't know that person could do that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I love that you brought that up today because it's another way to be involved with the people that you're in. It's
right.
CrossFit doesn't really lend to somebody putting their headphones in and not talking to people. Those places don't usually do very well.
Yeah.
But this is even more. It's even more than working out next to them. And Lisa Fernell is a good mover. I love having her here.
And he knows her from another place.
Yeah.
He's not like just new. He's like, oh wow, she moves pretty good. I'm like, hello.
She's great. Okay. Hey, before we sign off, I do want to. Will Jones is here. Will Jones is part of the 310 media team. Will Jones. Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Hey. But I do want to thank Will Jones and Jordan Keith and Ryan Weiss for putting videos together. And, your energy towards all of our people is so much fun. And we love
it's cool to see the
all those
whole
things.
CrossFit 310 is home.
We'll work on that.
All right. That's
Haters.
I know it's good. Off the cuff.
good. Haters. All right. That's it. We got anything else?
No, not right now.
Okay. Thanks for the open show recap viewing of the showness.
Peace.
I forgot to push record. Just joking.
That red button is on.
That word is